I didn't even. Good morning. I'm here. I made it.
Dusty's like, you're freaking late.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was a sneeze.
Oh my god. I wasn't thinking that. It looked like I'm tired and I need coffee kind of thingy.
Pretty sure I sneezed, farted, and had a seizure at the same time.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Damn.
Oh, Lord.
No, I didn't. Like the whole night, I did not sleep. And then probably about 4, I would guess it'd probably be about maybe 4 or 5, I finally dozed off. And just sleeping away. I would have been better off just staying up. And then when you called, I'm like, what do you want? I didn't even think about it being time. I don't know.
I had a hard time sleeping. Not as bad as you did, but I'm so freaking frustrated with this whole can't sleep shit. Maybe it's just part of middle age. Maybe it's just this is what happens when you get old. You just don't sleep anymore. Sorry, not that you're old, but we're the same age-ish.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
There's just days where I don't feel like I am sleepy. I'm exhausted to hell, but I just don't feel like. I mean, I know that if I put my mask on, then I'm probably going to fall asleep. But it's like I don't even want to lay in bed.
Right.
Like it almost hurts to lay in bed some days.
Yeah.
Because you're so tired. But I don't know. Maybe that is a thing. We'll get it.
There you go.
Ching ching. Well, no, these are morning offers. So you can't really count that.
Yeah, you can. I'd be counting that shit all day long.
Oh my gosh.
I would be counting it, actually.
I don't know. I just get like I went to bed at midnight. It was probably about 12:30. Laid there for an hour, and if there's anything that bothers me worse, it's just laying there, tossing and turning. And so I don't give it much of a chance. I'm usually there for like 30 minutes, and then I get right back up. And so I came in here, I got a snack, I started watching the show, and I would think that I would just kind of doze off during the show, but I didn't. And if I did, it was I dozed off and for maybe 15 minutes, and then I was back awake again. So
I mean, I went through 2 or 3 episodes of Scavenger Life. I mean, if anything could put you to sleep. No, not that they're very, hello and welcome to Scavenger Life. I mean, they're very like, what?
That's bad.
Public radio or whatever. No, but I like them. But yeah, but it was just like I tried a new pillow versus my regular pillow.
yeah.
Same thing as Valerie, but then I'm like, I should get up and go lay on the couch and watch TV because that'll make me sleepy or whatever. But I never did get up and do it, so I don't. I just.
Yeah, but you didn't go to sleep whenever you went to your chair, Valerie?
No, I didn't go right to sleep. I stayed up. And if I did go to sleep, I was like, I would doze off for like 5 minutes or so, and then I'd be right back awake. So I didn't, it wasn't, you know.
See, that's what I don't. That's what I do when I don't use my mask and I fall asleep. I fall asleep and I might sleep for 30 minutes and then I'll wake right back up.
Right.
Probably because I can't breathe.
And you know, that definitely may be one of the reasons why I'm not sleeping is because, you know, I have put on a lot of weight and maybe I have sleep apnea, which I will fight that to the death. But anyway, on that note, let's get another subject.
Yeah, but if you're having trouble falling asleep versus, okay, let's talk about.
No.
Hold on, I'll find us a subject real quick.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Let's
hold on to your hats here. Not free shipping.
Let's talk about. Why are we not allowed to talk about free shipping?
No.
Today's Eclipse Day.
Yeah, it is. That's a good subject.
I've been looking at my area and it's like supposed to start around 3, 2:50, something like that. I didn't think it was that late.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to start.
People are
start around there.
Like
Jesus Christ.
Like, true story, we drive past our little neighborhood supermarket the other day. I'm like, what the hell are they giving away? Free ribs or free, you know, like gallons of milk or what, you know? They are lined up down the sidewalk all the way down, 2 blocks down around the car, like 4 blocks. And I'm like, what the? So I Google it. I like, it's called Star Market. So I'm like, Star Market 5 Points, whatever. And it pops up the Facebook page. It's like, we have Eclipse goggles back or whatever. I'm like, like people are going to wait hours. Like we made that shit out of toilet paper tubes in the 70s. Don't remember exactly how we did it, but like, you don't need freaking glasses. Just
I've been looking
or whatever, you know.
I've been looking all day on Google trying to find out how to make different things, and the only thing that I can find is like something that will reflect the light onto another sheet of paper, not really you looking at the sun. It's you have your back to the sun and it's reflecting on something else. And Neil deGrasse Tyson says just get a colander, like a regular spaghetti colander with all the little holes in it, and you'll have your back to the sun. You'll see the image of the image of the moon.
Yeah.
In all those little circles.
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah. Make sure you have your helmet on too when you're out in your front yard with a damn colander on your head.
I'm not gonna put the colander on my head, you dork.
No, that's for the aluminum foil helmet.
You know, a lot of my issues are probably stem from too much staring at the sun to begin with. So I think I'm just gonna pass on the whole eclipse thing. I'm pretty sure there's probably a YouTube video that I can, you know, it's an eclipse.
Yeah.
No, I mean I get it.
Yeah.
It's a cool. I mean it happens once every. I'm just making up crap now because I don't know. Like however many years. I'm assuming the last one that I saw was in. I think it was in the 80s. Maybe it was the 70s. I don't know. My 70s and 80s run together.
But I think this particular one is like every 80 something years or something. Like it's a once in a lifetime thing. 300.
Okay, so it's a rare thing, whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like most people like. I remember being very disappointed as a child, like in a lot of things in life. But no, I remember like I can't believe everybody's making as big a deal out of this as they are and selling like, you know, glasses for crazy money and standing in line for hours to get a pair of glasses.
I wouldn't do that.
Like, come on. Don't you have Amazon Prime? Just order a pair.
Why am I gonna buy glasses? Like, somebody says, I think Sandra said to have the thing on selfie. Just, you know, just put your back to the sun and have the phone on you know, to where you could see.
Yeah. But then somebody said that that'll burn your phone up.
I don't think
It'll
so.
burn your phone up looking at the sun.
I don't know.
Because God knows nobody's ever taken a beach selfie before or taken a picture of the sun. Did somebody really say that though?
Yeah. They said that's what they had heard.
Coach Life says, I think that Eclipse is a bunch of bullshit.
Did you read that? Did you read that somebody said that, or is somebody in the audience saying that right now?
Somebody in the audience said that.
Okay,
yeah.
You stupid. Who said that?
See?
Hold on, I gotta scroll back now.
Beth said, let's see,
that will burn
Sandra said, your phone, turn your back to the sun, you'll have your phone on selfie. And then Beth said, that will burn your phone up from what I read, Sandra.
She called me a dude. Beth just called me a duty head for calling her stupid.
Oh my God.
No, but I don't understand. How could you burn your phone? Like,
I don't know.
All right. Well, we've got 2 thumbs down now. Not saying
but okay, we got to turn that around. Let's turn it around. Sorry, guys.
Hold on. Where's my Eclipse glasses?
Stupid dogs won't shut up.
I'm sorry, guys.
Eclipse burn up.
Shit.
Oh no. Here we go down the rabbit hole.
Oh my God. How was everybody's sales today or this weekend? Did y'all have some good sales?
No, but it's my own fault. Did you have some good sales?
Yeah. I think I sold. I think I sold total. It was 25.
Awesome.
And then yesterday I did an online auction for the first time.
So did you win?
Oh yeah.
Like a lot?
I won big. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, tell us what you.
I ended up winning 48 items or 48 lots. Yeah, I mean, they had a bunch of these antique heads. They're like some of the brands are Boston. I think that's the way. Eric helped me a lot through it. Kind of walked me through it. But there was some Boston, and then there was some what was the other one? Legend. And they all said, you know, from made in England type of thing. But I got 14 of those. They were pretty cool. There's like the pirate. There's the
ARG.
Yeah. But I got a lot of those. I got 4 boxes of solid oak flooring. The Bruce solid oak flooring. What else did I get? I got a Pacific ammo reloader. The majority of them was those heads. Got some hats for $1 each. But yeah, it was interesting. It was very interesting.
Sounds interesting.
You know, I mean, I had went in the day before and put in my bids for the stuff that I wanted. And I don't know what I was thinking as far as, you know, when it got to closer to the end of the auction, that, you know, of course, that's when everybody starts bidding on stuff. So, you know, you got that last 30 minutes of the sale that everybody's, you know, fighting for stuff, basically. And so, you know, at that time, then it really starts, you know, heating up, and that's when you get your, you know, true sales. But I put a bid on a deer head, and then I regretted it after I had put a bid on a deer head, because I'm like, well, how are you going to ship that? You know, so then at the end of it, I was like, well, you know, hopefully somebody will outbid me on it, and I'll just let it go. So I let that go, and then I picked up a couple of, you know, different things. So
good. You can always just get a big box. You don't have to make a crate like Tara and Jim.
right. I mean, but you know, something like that, because you have the antlers and all that. I mean, you really do have to have something.
They suck. Yeah, store we didn't crate them, but we did them in big. And you still had to like styrofoam blocks.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Is styrofoam blocks around the.
Well, I mean, the first time, you know, here's the black part of the deer head with the antlers poking out. I love using diagrams with antlers poking out like that. I mean, you put that in the bottom of the box, but the first time the box ends up upside down, I mean, it's all the weight's on the antlers.
Yeah.
It makes sense. You have to put something in the corners to support. I mean, you almost essentially build a crate out of like styrofoam, sort of. I hated doing them.
Yeah, I didn't. Hank Allen Cat. Yeah, they did have an old Yamaha dirt bike. But I don't know how. I think that one went up to. Oh, I can't remember. I know the starting bid was like $310, and I can't remember what it went up to, because I wasn't going to get it. So
it was a Yamaha Enduro.
Yeah.
And I want to say it was an.
Gotcha.
It might have been an IT. I can't remember if they ever made an IT model. There was an IT model of something. I think it was a DT. It was pretty cool though.
Good morning, Emperors of Enterprise. Over here, Stacker says.
No, there were ITs. In 77, 76 to about 79 or 80. Something. 80. Huh. Not a wagon. How do y'all get up this early?
But it was a good experience. I will definitely, you know, do that again. And yeah, so I go and pick up all my stuff tomorrow.
That's good.
So I'm
What's
excited.
your total that you spent? You know, roughly ish. Did you say that?
I haven't said it yet because I'm kind of
mad. I mean, is it like $50 or a couple hundred ish?
No, it was a couple hundred. I spent almost it was like $259, I think.
That's not bad, but at least it was. I think I remember you saying, "What if I only win the one item for $1 and then I got to drive all the way there?" That's always a fear when you're doing online auctions, is that there's going to be, you know, that's going to happen.
Yeah, I guess.
Did they stagger the end of yours?
Yeah, it was like every time.
Did it extend it for a few minutes if a bid was played? See, those are cool, because then if you know you won one and you're going to have to drive there anyhow, you can be like, okay, let me go ahead and grab this one over here because I'm already headed that way. Yeah.
Make it worth your while a little bit.
Yep.
That makes sense. But it was fun, and I'll definitely do that again. And
Do you feel like you made your money back just by getting those?
I think me and Dusty me and Eric were talking about it, and we kind of figured that it's probably a good at least $600 return on the items, at least. So, oh yeah,
That's good.
Hey, I know where there's a video that shows you how to pack a deer head, Valerie. And ironically, Jim is shooting a deer head today.
Oh, really?
Oh, I bet he's cussing you today.
But as I was thinking, I was thinking about the deer head, but I was also thinking about his video, and I seen his video. But I don't have a nailer, a nail gun. I don't have any of that wood.
He clads them in cardboard, but for us, this is the way we do it, is you have to keep that deer head very secure because the ears and the horns are both very delicate.
If you're not set up, Valerie, but if you're not set up for something like that, there's other things that you can buy. Just buy the other thing and make money off that. I think you did the right thing to pass on it.
Right.
This weekend, it's $65.
You did get the deer head, or you didn't get the deer head?
I did not. My theory was when I got it, I was like, well, I probably could sell it on Facebook or maybe offer up, and do something like that. But it was one of those things where I felt like I didn't know enough about it that it probably would have been just something that sat around.
Yeah. I had a friend that pulled the horns off the mounts and threw the heads away.
Oh, really?
But
I was going to say, and I hated to suggest that.
It seems.
I guess that'd be an option, but yeah, I don't know.
You gotta get them cheap.
Yeah, I think the opening bid on that deer head, I bid $22.50, I think, and then once I got outbid, I just let it go. Yeah. And I don't even know what it went for after that, but I just felt like that was probably the best way to go.
It's a lot of work, and people make fun of the low-hanging fruit. I won't mention names, but people say, "Oh yeah, that's low-hanging fruit. You need to go for the challenge or whatever." Hey, sometimes if the low-hanging fruit is where the money is, go hit that low-hanging fruit, man, and make some money. Quick.
Absolutely.
If you can, why not take the path
in the reselling community?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it was a good experience, and I don't think I'm sure that I'll be back for more. So now I kind of know what to look for, as far as how it works, and so yeah.
Is that a nipple?
What are you talking about?
So, do you want to take that question, Dusty?
Comfortable Life asked Dusty, the Gov auctions.
I'm 90%.
The Gov auction, which I'm assuming, and I'm going to answer this question as if you were talking about Gov deals. The Gov auctions online, their lots, are they one money or times the items? I emailed them on their ask questions here. Link 3 days ago. Don't think they're going to answer. Number one, I would pick up the phone and call them. They do have a number because I lost my registration from years and years and years ago that was on some totally different email, and I had to re-register, and I had to call them when I did that, and they answered the phone pretty quickly. But typically it's usually shows a lot. Like I hadn't answered it yet because I was going to the site to look to make sure, but I don't know that I've ever seen one where it's been in like there's some chairs I'm looking at right now where it's like you're bidding on one times your money. They usually don't do that. That's not typically an online Well, no, I hate to say that because I have seen some online companies do it that way, but a good auction company won't do it that way because most people don't understand that. And they tend to get a lot of people that don't pay because then they're like, oh crap, I didn't realize I was bidding on, 10 times my money. Even at live auctions, I see that a lot if you're not real careful. So I would just read it, but Gov Deals, it's most of the time I've seen, like all the ones I'm looking at right now are lot of. And there's some really cool mid-century chairs on our Civic Center's auction right now.
Yeah. But it was, for me, it was a pretty good weekend. Can't complain.
That's good.
Did pretty decent. There's, lately they've been doing this thing where, just the sales, the hold off, and then all of a sudden it just goes crazy, So I don't know. Wow.
Yeah.
Just got.
Did you call Nikki?
I did not.
I thought I'd remind you.
I need to do that. I just got a feedback on my Gunny Sacks dress.
Mm-hmm.
I was really worried about that just because, it is vintage. It did have a couple of, stains on it and stuff. It said beautiful, so awesome. Thank you. Wonderful Gunny Sacks dress.
Great.
So, good. I'm glad that went over well. Let me call Nikki.
Call Nikki. So there's a bunch of Haywood Wakefield orchestra chairs in our Civic Centers getting rid of on Gov Deals. 55 of them in one lot. They're pretty boring. They're not, the pretty colors like the school chairs or anything. They're all brown. 55 of them in one lot. It's got 11 days left on the auction though, but they're starting at $100. Those would be hard to get rid of though. And they're not wood. They're just, or else they would be cool. Oh, you're calling Nikki. And then there's also some really cool mid-century, like, I don't know where our Civic Center, they updated it like 10 years ago. I don't know whether they're pulling this stuff out of a closet or what, but some mid-century Burris chairs. Really cool. Yeah, the last thing I need to do is buy a bunch of damn chairs.
Did y'all ever sell those church pews?
No, those belong to a lady, but I'm allowed to.
Right.
Sell them for her. No, they're still down there. That's one of the reasons my rent's still cheap, because she pays rent for that little back corner to store those pews. I don't know that I'd ever. I probably should. I was thinking about that last night. There's a bunch of big stuff that I need to get down to the warehouse and spend like a 4 or 5 hour period. I need to set the dental chair up right, clean it up, take pictures, get it online. There's a antique Hartman trunk down there. There's that old antique time clock. There's a brand new heater for a trailer that's still in the box. It's gonna, here in the next month or so, going to be to the point where that might actually sell in some places. Yeah. There's a bunch of big stuff I need to go down there to deal with. There's a Moto Guzzi scooter that I need to drag home and clean the carbs out, see if I can get it started or whatever, or have somebody do that. There's just a bunch of crap like that. That's all big stuff that I need to just do local pickup only and get it on there.
Yeah.
And I guess I could throw that lady's church pews on there.
Well,
It's
I
kinda
know
one of
that
those-
you had talked about it, earlier,
Well-
and I didn't know if you had done anything with them.
I mean,
Or
she
not.
wants a couple $100 a piece. God love her. She's a doctor's wife, and she's not in this kind of business. And they bought them for her daughter's wedding, or for their daughter's wedding, to have an outdoor country wedding and all that, which is really cool. But then she thinks she's going to get back like a lot of her money.
Right.
I'm like, how much do you want? She's like, well, I would take X because I paid this. And I'm like, yeah, it kind of doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Plus, there's the whole thing of like, if I sell them all for her, then is my landlord going to go, well, that corner's free now, and raise my rent back up because he's got less income coming in? And I don't want that back corner of the warehouse anyhow. It's a dead, dark corner, and all I would do is just put more crap in it. So
that does make sense. I understand the reason why, you're kind of holding out, because that does make sense,
Yep. So it's I don't know. Plus, I think it's going to be one of those that I'm going to get tire kickers and blah blah blah, and then I'm going to meet somebody, and if she wants to get 200, I forget what she told me, $225 a piece or whatever. I mean, if I had somebody go, hey, I'll take 4 of them, and I'll give you 300, but I want to come look. Then I've got to go meet somebody, blah, 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 and all that to make $75 a piece. I mean, I'm not complaining if they bought 4 of them, let's say. I mean, that's $300, but
right.
Is it really worth it when I got my own crap to sell? It's kind of like that whole thing of when people go, hey, will you sell stuff online for me? Or what would you charge me to sell? I'd rather buy it from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I completely understand. Well, let's see here.
There's a 2011 Ford Super Duty truck bed on Gov Deals, but my truck's a 99, and I'm about 125% positive that a 2011 isn't going to work on a 99. I could make it fit and just call my truck a hybrid.
There you go.
There you go.
It's one way to do it. Nikki! No,
Where is Nikki at?
I don't know. I thought I heard her.
No. Maybe
Nope.
the ghost in it.
Maybe that was Tara. It had to have been Tara then. I heard something.
Oh boy.
It's just
Oh, boy.
one of those mornings, I guess. So yeah, it's I really haven't noticed any. That's what somebody asked me yesterday. Have you noticed any increase in, traffic around your area? And I really haven't. I really haven't noticed any. But like I told them, I don't really go outside much, so I don't know. And if you get 4 cars, one right behind the other in this town, it's like rush hour traffic. So I haven't noticed anything like that. But I do know that there was some places that were, they had a big pasture area, and they were actually renting the spots. They were like, renting it for camping. $20 a space or something like that. So I suppose I could have done something like that.
You're going to end up with a bunch of dirty hippies in your front yard.
Yeah. Yeah, don't want. I mean, I'm just kind of weird about that. I don't like
I agree.
people in my area, and
Yeah, then you gotta talk to them and stuff. You feel obligated to talk to them. And
I don't like people. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love y'all.
No, I'm kind of the same way though. It's like I don't know. It's like having people come stay at your house. I mean, if it's a family member or something like that, I'm like, sure, come on. But other than that, I'm like,
yeah, I completely agree.
I don't know.
It's just weird. It's just kind of weird, but well, a lot of people say, well, well, that might be a good thing for you to do, raise some money or whatever if you rented out a room. And I am just so weird about that. I just, I wouldn't be able to do that. It's a great idea for somebody else, but not for me. This ain't gonna work. Let's see what else happened this weekend. I got some cleaning done yesterday. Just domestic stuff, getting the house back in order and everything. I try to do that every Sunday is my cleaning day. So I'm still listing all that stuff from Goodwill. Still working on that. I've got, I think, 2 or 3 bags left of that, which is going. It's going really well.
I just can't push up.
What else is going on?
I'm gonna go pull this stuff. Do you want me to help you ship today?
Sure.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not. It's this stuff's a lot of
Shirts
bad
and stuff.
stuff,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
gonna be easy.
Crap.
What?
Then you got to go outside and take care of a deer head, son.
Yeah, he does today.
Good morning. But don't worry, I fixed you some eggs.
Hey, there's good money in deer heads. Just got to buy them right. There's a lot of rednecks out there, and they want deer heads.
I know there is, but I mean, and y'all got the perfect setup to ship them, but I'm like,
Well, just because we do it don't mean that we're telling you to do it. That's cool.
Yeah, and Dusty, I don't buy the deer heads.
I'm not given a choice on whether or not we sell deer heads.
Yeah.
I think if I actually knew that there was, and being like in this area, possibly there could be a good market for you're in the Midwest, everybody wants a deer head on the wall type of thing. If I knew that it was a good market, then heck yeah, I definitely would dive in and just do it locally. But I just don't know enough about it to get into that.
Well, that last the auction with the pontoon boat we had to pull up the hill or whatever that we decided not to get. That auction, I bought a much larger radial arm saw, and I can tell you, I am not a guy who took the only shop class I ever took was drafting. So I'm not a woodworker. I'm not this is totally outside my normal. I'm not gonna use the wheelhouse word, but anyway, it's totally outside of what I normally do. I'm scared. I mean, I love firearms. I feel very comfortable around them. Saws scare the heck out of me. It's almost supernatural. It's like I know I'm going to cut my fingers off.
Right.
Every time I do one, I'm like, oh my God, here it goes. It's going to be the day I'm going to lose my fingers. So, yeah, I don't recommend it for everybody. If you want to do it, great. I mean, I do not absolutely for everybody.
Yeah.
I don't blame you if you choose not to do it. There's so many in our business. There's so many ways to make money. Why you don't have to? You don't have to. I mean, you could just pick something else that's easier.
Right.
For you.
My thing is, it would take me 4 hours to pack one up. Probably, exaggerating some.
No, it takes me a couple hours, and I do it all the time. It takes me at least 2 hours. If I get interrupted, it'll take me longer than that.
Wow.
So yeah, I blow a lot of my day on every one of these crates. But what are you gonna do? It's money.
Pays the bills.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Oh, sorry.
But yes. That said, I would prefer not to have to do them. You always go for the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
Just frees up more time for you to go make more money.
Absolutely.
Unless you're not the one buying it, and then you're not given a choice.
Yeah. She's out of the room. Go for it.
My husband is a woodworker, and it still takes him probably at least an hour to make a crate.
Yeah.
Or more.
And there's just no easy way to do it. It's not something you can say, well, I'm just going to rush this and I'm going to do this fast. Hey. Next thing you know, you're missing a bunch of
Yeah. Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's slow and careful is it's like old people, the way old people make, slow and careful. That's the only way to do this with a saw.
Yeah. That's true. Makes sense.
I've seen these new saws like on TV shows, where they have the stuff that you'll never have in your home, right? But these new saws, they set the board in a rack upright, like a 4x8 board, and they just plug in what they need, and the saw just runs over it and cuts out the exact size board they need, or piece out of this piece of plywood or whatever, and then they have an exact size, to go
Wow.
build it. Yeah, it's something else. And they're not even standing near it. They got like a little mouse and a keyboard, and they're nowhere near where the blade is, so they're not getting their fingers cut off. So that's I don't think we'll ever get up to that level.
That'd be cool.
That's not woodworking though. I mean, the whole point of woodworking is doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And getting through it without cutting your finger off.
I've conquered once again. I made it out with all my digits.
What did I almost cut my hand off on?
That knife, you went down the.
Oh yeah. I'm cutting a piece of cardboard. Tara's talking to me, so I look towards her as I'm cutting, and I go like this, and I cut right across my thumb.
Oh my gosh!
Just like I was.
Which, ironically, I think it's that deer head video. Isn't your hand all full of blood?
Yeah, if you look closely, there's a big Band-Aid on my hand. You can actually see on the inside of my palm, there's still the lines of blood coming down towards my.
Oh my gosh!
Because I just bandaged it and put antiseptic on it. I didn't want to wash it with tap water, and get germed up again. Okay. Oh. Well, a knife, at least you can stop when you feel yourself cutting yourself. With a saw, by the time you know you're cutting yourself, it's all over.
Yeah. It's all over.
Anybody I talked to that happened to, they didn't even feel it. I didn't even know at first what happened. I felt this like weird cold feeling, It's like, oh, God.
Oh.
I'd like to take all my digits to the grave with me.
Yeah. That's kind of important, I would think.
Yeah.
Did you see what I said in chat a little bit ago? When you yelled, Nikki, I had just gotten out of the shower.
Oh, God.
And I was like, oh my God, can they see me?
Oh, shit.
And I was looking at my phone. I'm like, they can't see. What the hell? You scared the shit out of me.
Perfect timing. Actually, it's not, because getting out of the shower, the floor's wet, and you hear something like that. Definitely, I would be doing like the, Three Stooges.
I would never be able to come back from that one.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's a hummingbird looking out our window.
That was happening this morning in the bedroom.
Oh, really?
We have dew on our windows, because it was a cold night. And the hummingbird, all of a sudden, I've never seen it before. He's licking the moisture, the dew off the window. It's really weird.
Wow.
Yeah, because he hovers around. He's licking the path on the window. I'm 50-some years old. I've never seen that my whole life.
Huh. That's interesting, actually.
Speaking of licking the windows, did you get your Eclipse glasses?
No.
Are you just gonna put a colander over your face?
I just look in the thumb.
I'm gonna be inside a metal building making a crate, so whatever. It'll get dark and I'll get light again. I'm
just gonna look into the sun. Is that what Tara said?
Yeah, I'll just look into the sun.
The Eclipse was the last thing I ever saw.
I'm gonna too.
Yeah, it's Comfortable Life said. Comfortable Life says, "Hey Jim, I think you would like the Johnny Cash Redux on YouTube channel." I wonder if this is because we're talking about saws, but I'll check it out.
Oh.
Huh.
That way I could be blind and deaf.
With no fingers.
I have fingers.
He cuts his hands off while he's looking at the
The fingerless.
That's horrible.
What are you doing? I don't get it. I don't get the joke.
She wasn't here for the slot conversation.
We were talking about a saw
We're on that Mason light bulb.
and coming out of it, coming out of doing, a crate or something, and losing a couple of digits. That's what we were talking about.
Because it'll be on the 23rd.
On the day that
There.
woke up with the Carpenters in my head. Go figure.
We're selling an Illuminati light bulb here. I don't know if you can. Oh, you can barely see it. It's actually the Shriner symbol. It's the crescent moon.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's the shape is a filament. It'll light up orange when they light it up.
When we started selling those, they were selling for like $80, $90 a snap, and now they're down to 30.
Yeah, the market went down. I don't know what happened.
Huh. Those are pretty cool.
We got stuff for it wasn't even called. I don't think they even knew it was in the box.
We have ones and shrines.
Yeah.
And
We got them in a box. They were auctioning off the thing as something, and then we got the box. We open up, and there's all these weird Masonic, Eastern Star, the shrine, and then some Christmas, like a Santa Claus or something inside these light bulbs. And I don't think the auctioneer even knew they were in the box. So. Electric flowers. Yeah, Aerolux electric flowers. I don't know if you can read that. That's that. The story.
There you go.
That's the Illuminati bulb box or whatever.
You gotta have the pyramid with the all-seeing eye, but that would be cool.
It's probably like anything else. 20 years is the Masonic. Is that what it is?
Oh, the one we got right now is the last. We already sold the Masonic one. Shrine. The Shrine's like an offshoot of Masons. You have to be a Mason to be a Shriner.
It's probably like anything else. You said you were getting really good money. I mean, some douchebag probably came along and ran the price down to nothing.
Uh-oh. I'm usually that douchebag. I'm usually
But you have to
well, no, I mean, it could have been. You said you're only getting X amount. I mean, it's been because somebody else came along, and I mean, because I see other ones listed as well.
Yeah. Well, you gotta go through your listings once in a while. It's a pain, but I mean, once in a while you gotta go through your listings. If you have something that was perennial, it really was a bread and butter thing that was always popping off. All of a sudden, your sales just go cold. Somebody went and listed behind you and got under you, so you gotta check that. And I mean, unless you want to keep it, unless you're in love with it, you're gonna have to give me up. It's the rate.
I did that yesterday. I was going through my shelves and I was like, why have I not sold any of that particular item in a while? That's really weird. And I went and looked, and it's because somebody had tanked the market on it,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
your options are you could
have to be aware of what's going on out there, and changing it up a little bit.
Or you can just set your price and
Wait
till you hopefully the market rebound. I was watching, and I'm not bashing them by any means, but I was listening to Scavenger Life again yesterday, and just their business model is totally different. You know what? It works for them. But I mean, they literally, and I'm not saying they never adjust their prices. I don't really know, but they seem to be kind of a list it and forget it kind of thing. And it's just, I kind of disagree. I think every once in a while, I mean, she was talking. I was on a really old one of their old podcasts from like April, and she was talking. Damn it, I went to ship an item and hit buy it now. Well, at least it didn't let me buy it. You know, she sold a pair of shoes. And I kind of get this, but she sold a pair of shoes, and she's like, we realized that the picture in the background was at our old house, and those had been listed since like maybe 2008. And I was like, what the heck? 9 years. And she's like, and we had finally just marked the price down. They were $2.50 plus shipping. And I just wanted to blow them out. You know, by that point, it was more of a, you know, and her husband or whatever he is, because they never mentioned being married, but he asked, he's like, why didn't you just delist him? And she's like, well, then I would have had to go find them and pull them and make sure I ended the listing and make sure they went to the donate. I mean, I kind of get that part of it. But, and I've got some older, I've got inventory that's been listed for 3 years. Some of it's longer tail industrial type stuff or whatever. But I think there's a point though, if I had 5,000 items in my inventory, I would probably get to the point of where I'm like, okay, now it's time to go through and find some really old crap that hasn't sold and just delist it and move on.
Yeah.
But I mean, to each, and that's not bashing them. I mean, if that works for them and they've got the space and they don't care, they've got an anchor store, and they don't do 7-day listings. They do, I think, good till canceled, so they probably don't burn through any of their listings in a given month if they're allotted for the anchor. You know, that's great. It's just, I think that's a little long for me. That would drive me a little crazy.
Fishing and Pickens says scavenger life is list it and forget it. Dusty is buy it and forget it.
I'm buy it, throw it in the warehouse and forget it. You know, I mean, but it's, you know, people say there's people that, why the hell do you have a warehouse? Why are you paying $300 a month? I never hear you about you going down there and you never do anything with it. Blah, 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 blah. It seems like a waste of money. And, you know, there's people, I get it, why we have it, and it makes sense to me, and I don't regret it. But at the same time,
well, that's all that matters.
There's people that wouldn't understand my business model either. So that wasn't being judgmental against them. Yeah. I do think there's a point where you need to go through and kind of check your inventory, though, and maybe weed out some really, like, you know, why am I even selling that kind of items?
Right.
Do you have your shoes on?
Yeah.
That's my
Just get me one.
Okay. Went over.
No comfortable life. I did not see that video. Not my cup of tea personally.
Dusty, you're talking about those old listings too. I mean, unless you have them like in like totes or banker boxes or very good inventory system, you got something out there that's been in your inventory for like 3, 4, 5 years. The odds of you finding it when the thing finally sells are not good, because it's going to be been covered up with something else, you know, another piece of inventory or something that's been buried. I mean, yeah, that's me. If I see stuff that I look at the background, I'm like, holy man, that thing's been out there for like 3 years. That scares the heck out of me. I want to go find it and verify if I even still have the item. You know, that scares the hell out of me. I don't like stuff out there that old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
but I
it
think
works for them. They have plenty of stuff. Huh?
I think you have to, you know, for me, I don't mind if something's out there for, you know, I'm just waiting for that special buyer that's looking for that particular item, you know. But yeah, I think you have to go in and maybe check your listing, check your, you know, your titles and your descriptions and, you know, all of that, just to make sure that you're even on the list, you know.
Because when we have a hit for something we can't find, it's usually one of them and it's going to be like a $6.99, $9.99 item. It's not a real pricey item. We just can't find the dang thing, because it was before we had a good inventory system, and it got covered up by something. Yeah, so that's just no, we don't have that much. But when it does come up, it scares the daylights out of it. It's like a song. It just scares me.
Okay. Can you bring me in 4x4? Yeah, I need first class boxes, I need 12x4x8, and then full parts. I'm waiting for that 12 by 12
Yeah, I'm
by
doing it
8.
right now.
Right now, I'm waiting for it. I'm holding this object in my hand.
Get him.
Get him.
I don't know. It's
Examine as in what, Jason? Just look at it? I do every day. Even if I have just a few minutes to look at it, I go in and look at my prices and relist. And I usually try to change at least 1 or 2 prices while I'm in there.
So you're just like adjusting
Oh,
stuff,
no.
basically.
I think
Just to show some
Activity?
activity.
Okay, gotcha.
I think you just have to figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about that the other day. We weren't live at the particular moment, but you know, it's easy for me to say, "Oh, thrift stores suck, thrift stores suck, thrift stores suck," because they do, and they do in most areas. But it's easy for me to say, one sec. It's easy for me to say, "Oh, you should go find, I don't know, whatever," because I live in an area where certain things are more prevalent doesn't mean, I can't remember even what brought this whole subject up. Just because I live in an area where, like, for instance, rocket scientists and engineers and people are dying off, and there's that whole entire generation, you know, that moved here in the 50s, 60s, 70s, that doesn't mean that somebody else is going to have that good of luck in their area, because they might live in an area that's I'll use Valerie's in a small town in Kansas where it's all kind of the same generation and families have been there for years and nobody gets rid of it. I'm not saying your area is like that, but you know, it might be something like that. So she might have to travel a little further. But I do still stand by my original statement, though, that chain store, thrift stores as a whole are kind of a dying breed for resellers, because they're getting smarter. They've gotten smarter for years. Yes, you'll still find a chain store, the occasional chain store that doesn't look stuff up or let stuff fall through the cracks. But I mean, that cat's been out of the bag for years, and they're getting smarter and smarter and training their people in the back to, you know, set stuff aside or look stuff up on eBay on their own and price accordingly.
Right.
You know, my St. Vincent's was really bad about that at one point. To the point to where they got a section of the store kind of roped off, and they started calling it their boutique. And not kidding you, it was like jewelry and dresses and party dresses and stuff like that all went in there. Name brand jeans, you know, anything that was worth something, like on eBay, that's where it went. And I stopped going there. I was like, screw that.
And a lot of people, not just resellers, will stop going there because what a lot of these places don't take into account is that their clientele are looking for a bargain. They're looking for a bargain. They're looking for that hidden item. They don't want, even the non-resellers, they don't want all the nice stuff necessarily. I mean, yeah, some of them do, but most of them don't want. They want to find that item in a rack and go, holy crap, that's a $75 or $125 pair of jeans. And I can get them for $4. They want that feeling. Everybody wants that feeling, that little bit of rush or the.
I went back recently, and they didn't have that section roped off anymore.
And what I've seen is a really new gung-ho manager that's given the reins, and they're like, we're going to do this, and we're going to boost income for the nonprofit or the whatever the cause is, whatever. And what they don't realize is they ostracize almost their own clientele. They price things at $75. Well, it's $100 on eBay. We'll put $79 on it. That's fair. And they don't leave any meat on the bone. They don't look at who their clientele are.
Right.
Number one, with a thrift store anymore, thrift stores in the state, and I go back to the conversation that I had with the lady that owns the estate sale company here in town, and she looked at me and she said, honey, resellers are my bread and butter. They're the majority of my business. And if I don't price where they can make some money, she said, I'll be out of business. Every thrift store ought to view it like that. You know, a good portion of your clientele is going to be resellers, and a good portion is people that want a huge bargain. They don't want to pay they don't want to pay 75% of eBay value, you know? Yeah. But I think it takes definitely a certain mindset to run a thrift store. And the problem is, especially with the nonprofits and stuff, you get whatever volunteer, or if it's a recovery like place that does, you know, people in recovery for alcohol or whatever, a lot of times once they're sober, they'll use those in place. They get what they're dealt, and there's usually nobody in a general manager type position to train them of the mindset. To train them of the mindset of, hey, don't price too high. We need to cater where people get a bar, you know.
Right.
And they just drop the ball over and over and over and over again. It's a fine line between maximizing the dollars for your cause, ultimately, which is the reason that they're in business, and figuring out who your clientele is and losing the prices. I don't know. It frustrates the hell out of me, obviously. So I just quit going there.
Well, and before, you know, they used to be like, you know, they used to be really cool to where, you know, if you bought a bunch of stuff, they'd say, hey, if you get like, you know, if you can find like 4 coffee mugs, we'll give it to you for $1. We're really trying to get rid of coffee mugs today. And not that it would be just like a sale on that, because they would have their sales listed, but just like a random thing, you know.
Right.
And so I'd go see if I can find 4 mugs that were actually worth something. And you know, and then whenever they got that boutique idea, they stopped doing anything like that. They were like strict on prices and wouldn't budge a bit. And then they kind of got back to where there's, you know, they were. So I'm really hoping so, because that's, you know, besides, you know, where I usually get my inventory, that's, you know, where else I get my inventory. So.
Right.
See, and that sounds to me like somebody came in, was really gung ho, maybe a new director, if it's a, you know, nonprofit type situation, or a new manager, a new district manager or whatever, and somebody came in really gung ho with a great idea that they felt like was a really good idea because they had experience in retail. And when you run a thrift store, all the retail experience in the world is great, but it doesn't really equate. I fought with our board of directors when we were in the nonprofit over this, because come to find out, 3 of them had never stepped foot in a thrift store in their entire life. And I finally just looked at them. I said, we're going to continue to butt heads until we take a road trip. You guys need to get your ass in a car. I'll drive, and we're going to spend an entire day going to thrift stores. I said, how are you trying to run something you have no grasp on the business? Yeah. On the model. You know, and they're, oh, we need to make it pretty, and we need to do this and whatever. And I said, you can make it too pretty, and you're going to run people off. Mm-hmm. You know, this isn't regular retail. And I just over and over again banging my head against the wall with them.
Yeah, you make it look too pretty, and people think that everything in there is going to be so expensive, and they won't even walk in.
I get this up here where I think they actually, like here in my area, they get mad when resellers make money off of something that's not from them. I'll use this example. We went to this thing this week. It's called the Youth Days Auction. It's all for charity. They raise money for the hockey program because you're in hockey country. And they have this antique section, and they had a set of these wash and bach Christmas dishes. They wanted $300 for the set, which was, I didn't want to pay that much. Anyway, I go back the next day when they reduced the price. I'm like, I was the first one in the door. I was the last one to leave. They were still there. I was the first one in the door. And one of the workers pulls them because they get like this. These people are running the antique booth. And then at the end of the night, the second night, the stuff that don't sell, they go through and auction it off. Well, they're so worried that the stuff's going to go too cheap. They just start putting sold stickers on everything, even though it didn't sold. They're real goofy that. I don't understand it, but what are you going to do? It's just the way they think.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get some stuff listed today. I haven't listed in like a week.
Dad, nabbit. 660 legal flat rate 605. I'm out of regular flat rates and I ordered them, but I let myself get too low. Oh well, just overkill on the envelope. I don't know. I mean, I'm reading the comments and stuff, and people are griping about theirs, and I don't go to thrift stores anymore. Whatever. I think for me, it was just, if it's not, I was talking to Jim Bennett about this here recently. You know, he moved here, and he's like, man, your thrift stores here suck, whatever. And I was like, that's why I don't go. If I'm bored, I happen to be driving past one, whatever, I've got an hour to kill. Yeah, I'll go in just on the off chance that I might find something, and you can still find stuff, but as an overall, there's only X amount of hours in the week to find and buy inventory. I'm going to have to narrow that down by eliminating the places that typically I don't find anything with any meat left on the bone. And that tends to be our chain thrift stores. Working smarter, not harder, I guess, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't want to run around going from thrift store to thrift store to thrift store. If I'm in town, I'll go check. We have a couple local thrift stores. I'll go check them out. Or when we go to Walmart, there's a Goodwill in the same like shopping complex. I'll go check it out. But I don't want to be like getting in a car and running around for 40 miles checking every thrift store in the area.
I think that used to be fun back in the beginning. And then I think there came a point, for at least for me, where I just kind of, it's not so much fun for me anymore.
I look at it like your time is worth something, so that time you're spending driving around your car, it's like going, for me, going like people that make a map for groceries. Because I just don't want to drive around all over Hell's Half Acre looking for stuff I might be able to resell. I'd rather go plant my ass on an auction all day, just sit there and buy stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of find it challenging, you know, because it's, you know, you're going in there with intentions to buy something, but at the same time, you want to find something that's actually worth something. You know, you don't want to, you know, pay $5 for a shirt that you're gonna, you know, you're gonna sell for like 15 or something. You know.
Yeah.
You want to find that little item that they, you know, walked by and they, you know, they didn't look it up on eBay, you know, something that they missed.
You're always looking, this business, you're always looking for the needle in the haystack, and you're going to find it, but it's just how much stuff you have a choice. And that depends on how desperate I mean, not desperate, but you know, how much backstock inventory do you have that's unlisted? You know, if you have nothing, then yeah, you might have to resort to buying things that aren't necessarily, you know, what you'd normally buy. But I think there comes a point though where you get better and better at walking into a garage sale or walking into a store or thrift store and walking out empty-handed. going to an auction and realizing, hey, I just spent 6 hours and I walked out empty-handed, but that's okay because I didn't end up with a bunch of crap, you know?
Yeah.
And being okay with that, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, did you plug it in?
Yeah, it works great. It's 26.
That doesn't surprise that kind of people care as tools.
It's got all the knobs and stuff. I don't even know what it does. It's
Oh
like
boy.
It's like a 747 control panel.
Well, there you go.
You know, Jack.
Well, I know it reaches
line 5 into 15 as long as I can buy 100 of them at a time. I agree, but first, you know, one-offs or like you know, it depends on what the item was too. You know, if there were 3 or 4, but yeah, he said, but 5 into 15 in onesies and twosies, and you'll work yourself to death. Especially if it's, and I know I bash on clothing, but we were having this discussion the other day about how I list fast, and a lot of it's because I list items that don't require measurements.
Right.
You know, things that require a little more work. If that's all you have, not a thing in the world wrong with that. But for me personally, it's just, unless I don't like, there's certain things I don't like to list. And if I don't enjoy listing it, it's going to become more of like a job. And my productivity is actually going to go down because I'm doing something I hate. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like the last couple of days, I've been making my way through this office and weeding out stuff and throwing stuff to the curb and, you know, going through boxes that, you know, some of it's worth selling, some of it just needs to go bye-bye.
Right.
And I didn't really like that, but I needed to do it.
Oh, she's okay.
But my label's not coming out.
There you go. Oh, it feels like this wasn't in.
Well, I never touched that.
I never touched her. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
It's saying drunk.
You've got this thing gets slipped out, and I don't know how it does it, but it does.
The last label I printed, so that I had to pull it out. I printed it, but it was stuck in the rollers or whatever.
I'm whip this out. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Monica.
All right, don't talk me.
All right. Music time in our street. Kids.
Okay, it's because it's these half sheets that it gets fricked up.
No, it's this little blue slider. It's made of course shitty plastic, and it's not locking into the paper size.
Oh.
So when it floats, it allows the paper to not be where it's supposed to be when it tries to draw it out. Jams.
Oh.
And it's been a problem with this printer, honestly. Well, I think probably 10 years old. And the problem we had to deal with. So for 10 years, I've been suffering with this.
All right. Are there eBay branded? I still haven't used my quarterly thing. Is there eBay branded? They have poly mailers that aren't padded, right?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I bet they're overpriced as hell. I hate to use my credit on that.
Yep, they are.
Like everything else in the supply.
Yep. Actually, what did I buy? I bought like the 400 poly padded mailers. I think it was 400, and then I bought the tissue paper because I use the tissue paper all the time.
Well, I got this box right here that I got says valuemailers.com. It's 12. There was 500 of them in here, and I remember I got a bonus of 50 of a smaller size. So I got 550 of them. They're 12 by 15.5. And I'm going to have to go back and find them in my purchase history because I've been using them for at least a year, year and a half maybe. And I'm down to like the last 3 of them. So I'm going to have to order, because I always wait till the last to run out before I order stuff.
Sorry, I was just getting all my packages out.
It's okay.
I did the majority of them last night, but I still have. When I started, I had 6, and now I still have 6. And I think I did 2 or 3 packages this morning. So I had some people pay.
I didn't do any of them ahead of time.
That's not like you.
No, well, I got the listing yesterday. I was listing, and then Kristen was fixing a new recipe for dinner, which involved me lightly grilling some slices of eggplant.
Right.
So I had to go do that, and then I got done with that, and I was like, yeah, I think I want to just chill and catch up on Game of Thrones with her, which we're almost caught up to the current season. I think we have like 3 episodes left.
Wow. I've not watched that yet, and I don't even know if I can, like, with what I've got, because I've just got the Netflix and Hulu.
And what's a very easy way to say this? We have access to HBO Go.
Uh-huh.
Put it that way. And we watch it through that.
Okay.
It's Hopkinsville. You know?
I will tell you this: you're either going to love it or hate it. It helps tremendously that Tristan's already seen it, and she even admitted she had to watch the whole series like twice,
right,
before she understood. You know, she still picks up on certain things. Like, oh, I didn't realize that was a story. It's like multiple stories all going on at once. And, I mean, it's one of those you kind of have to think, and you can't really like.
Yeah, I'm not about the whole thinking thing.
Yeah, and you can't like, hey, I got an offer on my phone, because by God, if you look at your phone, you're going to miss something, and you're going to be totally lost. I mean, it's
like frontal nudity.
At the beginning of every single episode, they say like violence, whatever, and it'll say either nudity, brief nudity, or won't say anything, and I'll be like, yes, nudity. Like, really?
Well, hey, sometimes boobs advance the plot, so.
Oh, Beth, you're not dumb. I take back everything I said. I apologize. I'm trying to catch up on the chat.
We had a really good. It was a good weekend as far as I did.
I asked you if you did it.
What was it? Friday night I did a working hangout. Saturday night I did a working hangout. Actually, Saturday I did a working hangout. It was like 12 hours long. But it was good. It got me charged up, and last night we did a couple of hangouts, and it was good. It was good just to, have people to talk to and, work with, and
it helped get me motivated. I know for sure, because I listed 35 items that first day that you did it, and then I was in one briefly with you yesterday. I think I listed maybe, 10 items yesterday. Helps me get motivated.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna, have to start doing that. I just went outside, and this thing is supposed to start at 11, I believe. Well, we've got a crap load of cloud cover, so I don't know if that's going to affect it or not. I mean, I would assume it would. As far as your view.
Yeah, we do too, but I guess it's supposed to be clear for that.
I don't know. I would think that that kind of ticked me off. Somebody was saying in Wyoming that they were charging at a Motel 6 in, I think it was Casper, Wyoming. They were charging $700 for a room at Motel 6.
That's cool.
That's crazy.
Time to go buy a hotel.
Once every 800 years.
No, there's another solar eclipse in 2024. It's just not going to be the same one as this.
Yeah.
I don't know. People are just, I mean, it's great, and I think it'd be great. And Tristan and I jokingly kind of talked about driving an hour and a half north of here to see it or whatever, but I mean, the extent that some people are going to, I'm like, Yeah.
You could probably see it really good from your house or your area. As long as you're away from, the tree. I mean, the sun's going to be in the sky. So
even there's a thing on Time, I think it's like Time Life website where if you enter the zip code, it will show the eclipse is going to show. Even in my area, which I'm pretty far north, it's like more than 3/4 of the sun's going to get covered up.
Right.
Like if you're in Kentucky, I guess the whole thing will be covered up, but even here, it's pretty big.
Eclipse calculator. So
here it's between 75 and 90%, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was like, I think Time did it. Yeah, it's a calculator thing.
Like I'm going to be able to see 75 to 90% of the eclipse.
Uh-huh. And then, of course, my area is 100%. So I should be able to. But that's the thing. If it's cloudy, what are you going to be able to see? I mean, it's going to get dark.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That kind of sucks. I mean, especially if I was, traveled here from like, France or whatever, which I heard there's a lot of people that are doing. They're coming over from Europe, and then to come to a cloudy area. I mean, there's nothing you could do about it. But
yeah, well, you could just drive somewhere else.
Well, that's true, I guess.
Time and date. There you go. timeanddate.com/eclipse/in.html. What am I supposed to put in?
You could watch it through the Weather Channel or NASA also.
Yeah, they've got all kinds of different places that you can watch it.
Partial eclipse. Okay, I don't understand all this. Starts at 12 noon. The moon touches the sun's edge. Maximum eclipse 1:30 p.m.
Yeah.
How do you see what percent you're gonna get?
Here, do this. I'll try to. I don't know if I get. Is the time? No, that isn't it. No. It's really good.
What in the hell?
In the comments, it says the glasses are sold out everywhere. They can't find them.
We're having a 0.97 here, whatever that means. So that's almost like full.
Yeah, you're almost
you should
full.
be able to. Yeah.
I just want it to get dark and for the zombies to come out. That's what I'm waiting on. Right, baby?
Okay. Matt says, I'm getting ready to go fishing, see what the fish do. There's supposed to be some weird animal activity, I guess, because animals, be confused because it's going to turn dark real quick. And so they, maybe we'll try to sleep or something. I don't know. I don't think fish sleep, though.
Eclipse come out.
I will say that my dogs yesterday they were acting so weird. Like
Really?
Elvis. Oh yeah. And I don't know if it was because of, just maybe the shift in the atmosphere or something. Maybe they felt something weird. But I don't know. It was just kind of like they were barking. Elvis usually doesn't bark at everything, and they were pretty consistently barking all day long.
Oh.
So it was kind of weird. But
Fish riot.
Excuse me.
Aquatic lives matter. What was that now, Dusty? A fart burps.
that was a hairball.
A fart. Burp snort.
Oh my gosh.
Burp snort. Fish offend you, Beth?
Why is my corner?
I like Long John Silver's. They made me want it. Dang it. And I can't have it because I don't have one here. But I want Long John Silver. Oh, it's a hork.
Whore.
A hork. You just wanted to say horror and have a reason to say it.
Game, you ignorant slut.
Oh my gosh.
Karen, you're in England.
Yeah, that's right. She is in England.
There's a bunch of people supposedly traveling to
I put it in the reseller squad. It shows like a little movie. If you enter your zip code, it will show you exactly how much of the moon will cover the sun.
Huh.
Dad nabbit.
Dusty probably doesn't even know what the reseller squad is.
I have no clue what that is.
You don't?
Probably not in it because he probably doesn't really join very many groups. Yeah, it's
What's the reseller squad?
Thrifting bitches.
Is that
We
the new name
changed
on it?
it. Yeah. That's what everybody picked.
Okay, fine.
I think that's a good name.
I'm going to deny you. I'm just kidding. You gotta ask me 3 times.
Was like
And you gotta answer all the questions.
I did. You'll like my answers. No, I left a bunch of stuff and befriended and whatever, and it wasn't personal, and I left your group. I left the happy hour too, so don't feel bad. Now I got to figure out how to get back in.
Is there somebody named Carrie? Do you know that answers that watches the show, Valerie?
That doesn't sound.
I want to know. I want to know how you did those questions thing. I like that.
I don't know. It just popped up and asked me.
That's a really good idea to weed out stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna let this person in. I don't know. I'll let you look at it, Valerie.
See how the eclipse will look. Click to begin. Here's how the Eclipse will look in a zip code. Whoa, the moon's going to hit the sun. Hold on.
Oh.
Oh.
Don't worry, Matt Damon and what's his name? Davis. Ben Affleck. And I don't want to miss a thing. Can I play that song all day today?
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
Dusty, you're making me cry.
That's good. Everybody needs a good laugh.
Making my eyes burn.
It's all good in the hood.
Okay, I can't even see Dusty's thing. Did you already, Valerie? Did you already do it?
No. I haven't even been in there.
I don't even see Dusty's thing. That's weird.
Oh, I didn't do nothing.
United States has
innocent.
been trained for years. You have 12 days. I'm going to do quotes from Armageddon. Welcome back, cowboy.
It just came up on mine, so I'll go in there and I'll take a look at it.
Okay, yeah,
She
it's not letting me.
she doesn't look familiar, so
Yeah, I don't think so
we'll have
either.
to do a scan on her.
Yeah.
Probably not, though. She didn't say the right words. Money!
She didn't
flash any-
answer.
She didn't flash no super chat, so.
Beth, you know what I mean. Stop being dirty-minded.
And I don't want to miss a thing.
I like Aerosmith, and I hate that song.
You don't like Aerosmith?
No, I love Aerosmith.
Oh.
I do not like that song.
Oh.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I like Aerosmith. I love everything about Aerosmith, but that song I do not like.
Okay.
Sherry says I used to like that song.
Not no more. Oh, gosh. Holy moly. Why did that do that? I guess.
Oh. How did she?
How'd they do that?
What are you talking about?
Who's Dawn Davis?
That's Harley woman.
Dawn.
Dawn.
She approved me to get in. Apparently you have
Yeah, she
have
did.
your settings set where members can approve other members.
Oh.
No.
You need to go in and set it where, hold on. Go into your, give me one second, let me print this last label.
Changing that.
Go into your group and edit group settings
Okay.
and membership approval.
Yeah.
And it's any member can add or approve members, or any member can add members, but an admin or moderator must approve them. You want the second one.
Huh. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I did not change that, and that's weird. That is weird. See, that's where it's at, Dusty. Right below that, it says membership requests. Ask questions.
Learn more about people who want. Ooh. I'm going to totally steal y'all's questions because I like that, because that weeds out. Well, crap,
Yeah.
now I don't know what your questions are. I have to leave your group and note request again.
My God.
Can I leave and come back?
If
Yeah.
you're going to be this much of a problem, you don't need to ask again.
Yeah, Yeah, blackberry thistle tea. I heard that a lot of those glasses weren't regulated or something. They had they're if they were the cheap ones from China or
They're
wherever.
supposed to be ISO approved.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, probably a little bit of both, Jack. To weed out the bots or to weed out the idiots. I mean, I hate to say that, but you know what I mean.
Well, I'm totally weeding out people. How long have you been reselling? I'm stealing yours. What is your best find or sale? What resellers do you enjoy watching on YouTube? The third one is going to be the
kicker.
The kicker. Apparently, I'm still getting hate after 2.5 years.
Oh my gosh.
It's better than selling used dildos.
Oh, who does that?
That's what Dusty did.
What?
Oh my God.
That's what Dusty put. Get on to him, not me.
Oh God. Oh, is it in the chat? Oh.
Y'all. That's horrible.
Right.
That's hilarious.
What'd I miss?
Sally's talking about used dildos.
It's all your fault, Dusty. You got me in trouble.
I thought you meant like somebody did a video on selling used dildos. I'm like,
That was all my answers to her security question.
oh, okay.
Shoot me now.
So this is your first request, right?
No, it's the second one. I had to leave and come back because I wanted to steal your security questions.
Okay.
And I wanted to cut and paste them because I'm lazy. But I did tweak them a little bit. I didn't steal them exactly.
Well, that's fine. I don't care.
Man, I got the sneezers and the crazies.
Rita says that she's been reselling for 6 months, and her best sale was Harry Potter Seen It board game. Bought it for 50 cents, sold it for $54.99.
Oh, that's pretty good. Pretty darn good there.
I'll buy that for $1. You better remember what movie that was.
Welcome to the group, Rita. And Dusty.
Yeah, welcome, Dusty.
Thank you. Welcome back. 3 times now.
Welcome back, Kata.
Thank you, Don, for accepting me. And whoever accepted me the second time, Sally Nasser. $6.63. $6.30. Legal flat rate. You know what? I'm using up these legal flat rates.
An illegal flat rate.
I guess I'm going to the post office later.
Oh, because you didn't get your shit done?
Well, I think I've got 4 more to do. So
you're almost there.
Yeah, I am. It's not going to be that bad.
How many people we got in here now?
103. No way.
It was 99 or 100.
Oh, in the group?
Yeah.
You mean in the group?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Yeah, so, I think, definitely those working hangouts, I'm probably going to be doing those a little bit more. I still want Sally to do her challenges, though. I think we need to revisit that. But, yeah. Just to do, I like to do when I do the working hangout, I like to do it not live. Just because there's some people out there that they don't like that. They don't like the cameras and lights and all that kind of stuff. So, just be very what is it, impersonal. Some people like that. So,
yeah.
Jack Smack says too big now. Now you'll have to make a Patreon account to make sure it's all serious. Oh my gosh.
We don't care. If you want to go somewhere else, go somewhere else.
Get them, Sally.
We love you, and we would miss you. But if you don't want to be here, don't be here.
Who are you talking to?
Whoever wants to listen.
Sherry says, what is a working hangout? Basically, it is this is kind of a working hangout. Everybody's doing their shipping in the morning, and you're hearing cha-chings going off, but a working hangout is where we're doing listing, we're doing packaging. It's not I usually try to do mine on how would you say it?
It's exactly what you're watching here, but it's not live.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Some people talk, some people don't talk. It's a lot of just actual working.
Yeah. I mean, you can have a camera and be. I like to do it so it's open, so you can come in to the hangout. You don't have to be on camera. You can just mute the camera, or I don't know, turn the camera off, and you can have your mic, or you don't have to do anything.
You could just use the chat. There's a chat room in there.
Yeah. You can do that also.
If that makes you more special.
Well, some people are just, weird about that, and they don't want to be on, on camera or whatever. And
yeah.
It kind of gives you a good opportunity to, meet new people, kind of, mingle a little bit closer.
It does help if you have at least a microphone. I mean, you can leave your camera off if you don't want me or whoever's in there to see your face or whatever. But it does help at least have a microphone to be able to talk, ask questions, whatever. But if you don't, you can type in the little side chat that's visible to the people only that are in the hangout. Although I don't pay a whole lot of attention to it. And somebody will type something in like 15 minutes later.
Yeah.
Whatever, Todd. You're not shy.
All we ever see is Todd's knuckles, so.
Sherry said, don't want you to see my messy house. You know what? We're all resellers, and I can tell you the majority of us do have a messy house. So that's just the way it is. But, yeah, you don't have to have your camera on. That's fine. I know that sometimes that's hard to do.
David B. Golf says, I have issues with just typing in chat.
Sorry.
Are you trying to have issues with everything?
ETC Emporium. I recently started watching and would like to be part of the workout hangout, if that's okay. I work from home running an AC and heating business and part-time eBay and need motivation sometimes. We would love to have you.
Her name's Valerie with an E.
Yeah. And mine's Valerie with an O.
Valerie.
So what I would suggest, Valerie, is I would go over to find the reseller squad on Facebook and ask to get into that group. You might have to answer a question or two. And then what we do is we post the link in there. So then you can just click on the link and then you can get into that. I think I recommend it. So we'd be happy to have you. Michael Carter said, do y'all have basic, premium, or anchor? I have an anchor. Sally, you have a premium, right?
I have premium.
Yeah. Dusty has an anchor.
Tara and Jim have anchor.
Yeah.
Nikki has.
She doesn't have a store yet.
She doesn't have a store. Oh.
No, she's just winging it. Yeah, she's just winging it right now. So, you know, that's the thing about us is everybody does something different, you know, whatever works for them.
You're a dork, Dusty.
No.
Do you have to have Facebook to do hangouts on? No, you don't.
No, but that's about the only way you're going to be able to get the link. Well, I guess there's other ways for them to get the link.
Well, if you wanted to get the link, you could email me. You could message me somehow. I don't know how you would do that if you didn't have Facebook, though.
Yeah, Facebook is probably the easiest.
Get me your email address. If you get me your email address, then I can email you an invite or send you an invite, and then that's one way to get it. So you can do that. Hangout and Cash says researching online, Google Business, Government, and Education have up to 25 on video hangout, and the regular hangout's still 10 from what I'm understanding. That's true. You can have Messenger without Facebook. Can you? Thought you had to be on Facebook to have Messenger.
I think you'd have to create a profile. You still have to create a profile.
Yeah, that's what I don't know.
Yeah, Facebook Messenger.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, we'd love to have y'all on a hangout. And I especially like to do it on the, have them on the weekends because, weekends you kind of get, I mean, other than running around and getting things done, a lot of times you just want to get lazy and, sit in your chair and binge watch some show when in reality, you could probably use some sales, and the way to get sales is to list. So it's a good motivation.
If you're typing in the chat right now, you already have a YouTube account.
Yeah.
So to speak, which is tied in with Google Plus, which is where the Hangouts are, which is tied in with Google. So you already have all those, whether you know it or not. So you can do Hangout. If you're typing in the chat, you can do Hangouts.
Okay. Let's see. So Comfortable Life. I'm going to put it in here. And if you want to write it down, you can send me your information to that email address. I guess that's one way to do it. So I'll just put it in here. It's actually chickpicker911 at gmail.com. Chickpicker911.
Is that the emergency number?
Yeah. 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 How does it flip back and forth? It notices it by the sound. So even if somebody's like taping a package, it's going to go to that person just because of the sound. So it just goes back and forth. But you can actually click on one of the profiles, one of the squares, and you can actually hold it there basically. So
hold it there.
yeah, that will definitely connect you to the Bat Cave. I guess what I could do is when I don't know how I would do that though. You know, the thing is you can't really put the link like too much out there because then you're going to have a lot of tools. So I like to try to keep it pretty regulated so to avoid that. So I don't put it in a whole lot of different groups. I usually just put it in the squad.
The squad.
I don't know why, but I call it that.
I like that.
Is that okay, Sally? If I call it that?
What? Is it okay if you call what?
Because I call the reseller squad, I call it the squad.
The squat?
The squad.
Oh, she said the squat. That was not okay if you call it the squat.
Come and squat here.
Let me show you the reseller squat.
Oh my God.
Okay. You guys have no idea what you're in for.
It's true. I mean, sometimes, you know, I will be. Sometimes it can get. It's funny. It's not drama. We don't do drama. If you bring drama, you will be booted. So let me just put that out there for you. We don't do the drama thing. And pretty much, I mean, the people that are, you know, in the group and have been in the group, they already know that. They're pretty aware of that. So, and there's, you know, I do have, we have moderators out there, so we don't mess around.
They know what we will and won't tolerate.
Yeah.
No racism, no drama, no
politics.
No politics, no religion.
No religion. That's right. You send a group email. That's true. That is true. So, okay, so there you go. So if you can just send me your email. I don't know. I'm lost. I'm lost.
Well, is there, you know how you put Nikki's name in the ad?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so is there any way to save that?
No.
Oh.
Because I have to put it in every single time. Well, I would say there probably is a way to save that. I just haven't found out what that is.
Do you know if there is, Dusty?
What's that?
If you go into the invite people.
If you want to invite a whole bunch of people every time, the same people?
I get a pop-up on the side of my Gmail that shows all the you were in a video call, you were in a video call, you were in a video call. You could save it over there and then just send a link through there every time. Like, for instance, hold on. Put link here. Okay, did that pop up for y'all?
Uh-huh.
That's the video call we're currently in. You could use that. That's kind of just a little chat box thingy through G. I think it's through G+.
Okay, and if I click on
hangout
that
message, so to speak, is all it is. You could indefinitely save that with the same people in it, and then just put the link there every time.
that makes sense.
Anybody know anything about Edison, New Jersey?
Jason might.
Trying to figure out whether or not Signature Conference. It's only $90. It's an apartment and some address in Edison, New Jersey. I don't think it's worth spending money for. One bedroom, one bath condos that sell for $60,000.
That's cheap.
That is cheap, but there ain't much room. I mean, basically, you gotta.
That Jim was, when he was doing real estate, they had a condo development. And they had one bedroom, one bath, and I think they were more than 60,000, weren't they, Jim?
Huh.
Oh yeah, they were about 100.
About 100, yeah. They were
I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I gotta go look at the sun.
Okay.
I'll be right back. I've got to go stare at the sun. You know
I thought
what?
that wasn't 1 o'clock my time.
You know what? eBay's going to cover my ass anyhow if it shows delivered. So I sold that laptop that I jacked around and jacked around and jacked around and finally got Windows on it and yada yada. I took an offer of $90. I think sat here for 2 days while I worked on it. Thank you so much, Jim, for the tip on. Oh, and then I pumped another $5 into it buying a Windows activation code.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot cheaper than buying a new operating system, though. They're over $100 if we got to buy a new one. So
that's true.
You got to do the work. You got to do the workaround.
He emailed me. It was probably an hour after I bought it and said, "Here's your code. Make sure you have Service Pack 1 or it won't work. Whatever." Problem is, I didn't have the laptop hooked up to anything. It does not have a Wi-Fi card. And I didn't want to unplug one of my Ethernets behind me and plug it in, whatever. So I had to go through the Windows activation online where it gives you a code that you then go put back in on the laptop itself, which was kind of a pain because it was like 20 random digits that you put in, and then you put them in over here, and then you get these 20 random digits and put them in. And I'm having to type them one at a time, but it worked.
Cool. Got it sold. That's what counts.
I got I got one sale today for $15. What the hell is up with that?
I think we're at 0.
No, we have $8. We
Okay,
sold one
$8.
thing for
Ooh, I got you beat. I got you beat.
supper.
Let's take out the boat.
Actually, it was a pretty good weekend, though. I can't complain.
I mean, I'm just looking here. All my promoted listings are going. Well, I got another 120 that need to go. Did I forget to relist all that stuff? You already have a campaign with that name.
Hi, Naked Man. Yeah, I gotta go pick up all that stuff I won at the auction tomorrow. So.
Awesome.
Kind of excited about that. Get it? Look through it all and. Well, it looks like the sun's coming out. That's good.
Michael Carter had a question. He said, do you start your new listing 7, 10, or 30 days?
I do 7.
I do 7.
I do auctions, so mine always start on 7. And if they go to buy it now, they do 30.
Yeah.
Okay.
I usually do, and that's another thing that I do too. Is I do some auctions also, and there's usually everything is set for 7 days, and then I just do relist. The other Jason said that I see Markdown Manager is changing. I hope it is going to be a lot more user friendly.
He's in the arena doing a deer head.
Yeah, they keep telling you that. I mean, they keep saying it's going to change. It's going to be integrated, whatever. I mean, I like it the way it is now because I figured it out. If that makes sense. I don't love it, but I mean, they're going to integrate it into promoted listings or whatever they're saying. That worries me when they change crap.
Yeah, because there's going to be glitches. There's going to be issues when they change something. It's just something else to get used to. That's what you have to do with.
Look for the sale event plus markdown in the create a promotion. Promotions. Create a promotion. Sale event. Sale. Save up to blank. Choose qualifying items for your sale. Create rules. Describe the items on sale. See, no, I don't need all this.
They can't leave well enough alone. They gotta
changing crap on me. I hate change.
I'm sure it'll be interesting. Queen City Picker says, I can't find anything out of place. I guess it's one at a time. Not loud. Megan says it's not fully functional yet, but I think it will be nice. It will be making banners so you can choose categories and exclude items. Yeah. Like Dusty said, it's I like the way it is right now just because I know how to use it. I know how to activate it, activate a sale, and it's not a big deal. And it seems like, the more that you are trying to learn, the many different facades of eBay, you could be using that time to be listing and selling things. So. Comfortable Life says he's been having a warning pop up when saving tracking. Anybody else having a problem there? No? When you're saving tracking, I don't get
tracking.
Yeah, I don't know why you would save the tracking.
Isn't that just automatic when you ship something? Your tracking is uploading?
I don't know. Well, that could very well be, Jack. He said, cynical as it may be, I think they continue to change things around. That way there is something to blame it on when things go south. Yeah. You know, that is a very good possibility, Frankie, you know, as far as wondering if the eclipse has something to do with the internet signals. Who knows? It might.
Are you sick?
I think so.
Yeah, you sound like it.
You look like it. That's horrible. Poor child.
I just said, "Are you sick?" And I said, "You sound like it." We went. Maybe we might have overdid it. The Youth Days auction is crazy. So we went to the Youth Days auction Friday night, which is like 6 to 11. And then Saturday, we decided to goof off. And we went out on the boat tubing all day long. And then went to the Youth Days auction for the second night. Again, 6 to... By the time you check out, because Jim bought a bunch of boats, it was probably like midnight, 12:30. And I think we just overdid it. Sunday, we were done.
Well, I think sometimes you just have to... I think it's good to get away, but yeah, I think you can definitely overdo it when...
Well, Saturday we had to get away because this sounds shitty. We're in a tourist area, so we have a seasonal house that's next door to us, and they have this girl that I call her the Beast. Anyway, she's just like a bully, and she comes over here to play with Brandon, and she drives me insane. So we hid out on the boat all day, so Manila Gorilla couldn't find us. Well, she is. I mean, she just like breaks everything. I mean, she just does really naughty stuff. I would beat her if she was my kid. I'd beat her. I wouldn't be able to help myself. And I don't beat kids, and I would actually beat that kid.
Huh. Megan says an eBay rep walked me through it. It picked up on all of my sale items, threw a banner out for people, and really boosted sales. Now it went glitchy again. Still working on it, making it fully functional. Huh. Well, whatever works, you know. Whatever puts that neon light over your item to get people to buy it, you know. Well, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show today. That way everybody can kind of get their stuff together so they can watch the eclipse. And, you know, good luck at that. Don't look at it straight on. I don't know.
Don't go out and stare into the sun today.
Yeah. You want to, your eyeballs are kind of important. And so, you know, yeah, don't go out there and ruin them. Comfortable Life says it's getting dark here in Tulsa. Some of my family looking outside with welding hoods. That's a good idea, actually. I don't know if that's, you know, but hey, whatever it takes. That's definitely sounds like something that you would say, Silver Hair Stacker. Will you only get a suntan on half of your body during an eclipse? I don't know. I guess you'll have to find out, and you can let us know. How's that? All right, guys. So we will see you all tomorrow, and watch that eclipse safely, and have a great day. We'll see you next time. Y'all come back now.